Episode 9, Torn Between Two Paths. As I mentioned in episode 8, I was facing a real dilemma. The Cape Town operation was still running well. It secured capital for new machinery and operating costs. But now the Eurocabs deal was on the table, and that was going to require a whole new level of funding. On the Dutch side, they were ready to invest, and it wasn't without risk, of course. Knowles was about to turn down a major job offer. Bester Vet was mortgaging his house to get in. Bas Witwoud, despite what he had previously told Avi, he did have funds. And Steve Greenhower, a mate of Knowles who used to supply Starbucks with baked goods, had just sold his UK business and decided to join as well. They were all in. On the South African side, it was myself, Avi, previously referred to as Mr. X, and Raoul, a mutual friend who originally introduced me to Avi. A funny story. Raoul and I bonded during a 700-kilometer cycle tour from Port Elizabeth to Cape Town. 5 days of sweating it out in the saddle. We talked about business the whole way. After the ride, he called me and said that he and Avi wanted to invest. And that's how it started. Now, back to the real issue. The truth was, I simply did not have the funds to invest in Eurocabs. I had tied up my cash in a piece of land in Johannesburg. The deal my sister had convinced me was a slam dunk, quick turnaround and quick profit. But things really go exactly as planned. The land didn't sell, and now my capital was locked up. By nature, I'm not a hard-ass negotiator. I liked the Dutch team, and I respected what they were building. And deep down, I wanted them to succeed. Technically, we had a clause in the shareholder agreement that I could have blocked Avi from being involved in a competing business, and I could have used it, but I didn't. Instead, Avi and Raoul invited me to breakfast, and they said, would you be willing to walk away from the Cape Town business and move to Rotterdam and join Eurocabs? They were willing to include me, but made it very clear that this was not a golden share. It would be earned and not guaranteed. So I was torn. Cape Town was just getting off the ground. It was showing real potential, and it felt like my baby. How could I just abandon it? So I declined. I said, let's try find another way. Back home, I kept pushing forward. I signed a new distributor in South Africa, Kevin Katz of Secret River Trading, a very smooth talker. Something in the name there should actually give it away. Promised to get us listed in Checkers, Pick and Pay, and all the other big retailers in South Africa. And at that time, I was already working with Vida Cafe, a large coffee shop chain, and others. And it all looked very promising. Spoiler alert, that Kevin Katz deal, a nightmare. Well, more on that later. Back to Eurocabs. We explored another option, a licensing and a royalty model. Eurocabs would pay Cafe Caps a monthly royalty, and we'd divide up the territories. Eurocabs would handle Western Europe, and Cafe Caps would focus on the UK, Australia, and Asia. It sounded like a workable compromise. In the next episode, I'll explain what happens next.